Hey, all you beautiful Texans. Welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. How many of you took today off so you could get a 4-day weekend? You people that do that, I love that. I love that because the 4-day weekend is sneaking in extra vacation time. Because most of your vacations, even if you take a whole week off, well, I mean, what are you really taking off? 5 days? Yeah, so this is basically a free holiday and only cost you one of your vacation days. And look, all the standard stuff that goes with it. Don't forget the reason why you're going to have Monday off. Don't forget the sacrifices that were made in order for you to have Monday off. It's a very serious holiday, and go have fun. Throw the football, grill some steaks, hang out with your family, go to the lake, whatever. But at least take a moment and put some thought into what Memorial Day actually means when you're doing it. And then you can go have another beer. Also, coming up in about 30 minutes, you're going to get a chance to win tickets to see Hootie and the Blowfish. They're coming to Dos Equis Pavilion next week. Special guest Collective Soul and Edwin McCain. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com, but I'm going to give away a pair of tickets because we're going to play Name That Artist coming up in about 30 minutes. So stick around for that. And look, if you don't want to win the tickets or whatever, just play along in your car. It's fun stuff. All right, but for the next headline, I got to get in your head before I let you go for the weekend. Check out some of these headlines. Have you been keeping up with the Fauci situation? Newsweek. Biggest bombshells from new Fauci COVID emails. Fauci's advisor alleged destruction of COVID origin docs must be probed by AG. Ex-Fauci top advisor offers apologies and excuses after COVID email revelations. Fauci under fire after new COVID email is released. A lot going on here. I know, it's enough. A lot of headlines being made in just the last couple of days. And I am concerned because I talk about COVID and I try and bring it up every once in a while on the show because I don't want it to go away. I do not want these people who destroyed millions of lives, millions of small businesses, the education, 2 years of a bunch of kids, and inflated the economy to where it cost me $12 to go to McDonald's now. We have to live with all these consequences for the rest of this inflation. It's never going to go away. It's never going to be transitory. We're never going to get that spending power back. But all of this turmoil was created. And if it's all done for lies, these people do not need to get away with this. That would be terrible for the country if people got away with this. And not just because it's unjust. It's just you have to have the example of why shouldn't you do this in the future? If you can just lie and get away with it and people know that you can lie and get away with it. And if, it's just for the right cause, then lying will be excused. That's not the paradigm we want to live under. Not at all. So what's going on in these emails? Well, the headline kind of tells you the story and you can really deduce from those headlines I read. The details are exactly what you think. There was a guy that was working with Anthony Fauci and, he's just listed as an advisor, but what the heck? And there's some new COVID emails that were released, Freedom of Information Act. And in these emails, they talk about how he went back. He talks about how he went back and deleted some of the original documents that some of these policies were based on. So why would you want to delete them? Why would you want to cover your tracks in real time? Because they're covering their tracks in real time. See, if they were on the up and up, they would want to preserve those emails in case there were accusations or questions about where these policies came from in order to exonerate themselves. And I know that this isn't proof of wrongdoing. I know that this is only happenstance and hearsay or whatever. And it just looks bad, but it doesn't prove anything. But you don't need ironclad stand up in court proof. If your husband was out until 3 a.m. and when he came home, you said, where have you been this whole time? I tried to call, tried to text, no answer. And if he said, I was just working late, you can go look up, you maybe ask one of his coworkers, hey, was my husband there until 3 a.m. or 2:30 a.m? And if you find out that he was lying, the ugly part isn't the lie about work. That's not the important story. The important story is, why was he lying? He was doing something he didn't want you to know. He's either having an affair or doing drugs, or maybe he's running the illegal cockfighting ring out of the barn. but there's something going on and you know it's not good. That's the only excuse for him to hide it from you. That's the only excuse for him to lie to you about where he was until 3 a.m. And so for so many of these cases, I know it doesn't meet the burden of proof that's required for a court of law. And if you went to a court of law and you said, I think my husband's cheating on me. Why? Because he was out till 3 a.m. and he lied about where he was. That's not enough evidence in a court of law. But it has been your experience, and it has been the experience for most people in the human endeavor that 99.9% of the time, that dude's up to something no good. Why else would he lie? So we have the situation going on here. The guy's name is Dr. David Morenz. There was some subpoena emails. They got 30,000 pages of subpoenaed emails. And then it took them a while to go through it. But in this subcommittee, there's a few things that they're sticking to here that they've pulled out of the pile and are waving it around. Now, if you haven't heard of this, you should be very suspicious. Well, shouldn't this be a top story? Isn't this something that affects all of our lives? Isn't this from one of the biggest government moves in our entire life? I mean, this is the reason we're playing so much. This is the reason why we had to wear a mask for a few months, a few years, depending on where you lived. I mean, this is the reason millions of small businesses died. This is the reason why one of your favorite restaurants went away. Oh, this is a huge story. Why isn't it on CNN? Did CNN spend more time pretending to be upset about the flag at Alito's house that no one knew what it meant until 9 hours ago? Did they spend more time on that than they did this, than they did these emails, than they did getting to the bottom of what happened with COVID? No, I think you know the answer to that. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I'm James Parker. It's The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey there, welcome to The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. So these new emails around Dr. Fauci and some of the guys he was working with at the National Institutes of Health, this is bad stuff. In a just world, this would be one of the top headlines you would be sick of hearing about by now. But this all just came to light to the public on Wednesday at a congressional hearing. One of the guys that they FOIA'd his emails, Freedom of Information Act, they found a lot of stuff in there where he's talking about the Freedom of Information Act. In email, April 21st, 2021, this Dr. Morenz guy asked to conduct business via personal email with no electronic record. That is illegal. If you're doing government business, you're supposed to do it on government monitored accounts, specifically because they need to be able to be FOIA'd. They need to be exposed to the Freedom of Information Act. That's what's legally required for the transparency policy, and rightfully so. He says, P.S. I forgot to say there is no worry about FOIAs. I can either send stuff to Tony, Fauci, on his private Gmail or hand it to him at work or at his house. He is too smart to let colleagues send him stuff that could cause trouble. So why would you go around the Freedom of Information Act? Why would you go outside of the email servers that are set up for you by the government just for such a thing? Same reason Hillary set up her own email server, because she did not want the things that were being said to meet your ears ever, because he knows you won't like it. She knew you wouldn't like it. It would get them in trouble. And that's not just a one-off. That was April 21st, 2021. You go to May 13th, 2021, Morenz and another email. He was speaking with someone through an unofficial private channel, but in the public channel, he wrote, interview Tony directly and connected him to our secret back channel. He emailed Tony a few hours ago. Oh, look at that. They're admitting that they have secret back channel communications with Fauci and some of these other guys. Now, and who are some of these other guys? When I say some of these other guys, we're talking about a guy who was with EcoHealth. They got millions of dollars from the National Institutes of Health, and they gave hundreds of thousands of dollars on several occasions to some lab in Wuhan. I don't know what they were studying over there. They were probably just, studying the Bible or the common cold or who knows. But it's not where COVID started, that's for sure. November 19th, 2021, another email from the same Dr. Morenz. He wrote, both my Gmail and phone calls are now safe. Text is not, as it can be FOIA'd, as can my government email. So you and Peter and others should be able to email me on Gmail only, with the caveat that no other government employee is copied at a government address, as all government emails are potentially FOIA-able. FOIA-able. Okay. And then there's other emails where he talks about getting help from the IT folks on how to make emails disappear. Let's talk to our FOIA lady on how to make emails disappear. Guys, there's a cover-up. There was a cover-up, and the fact that it's not being reported on in massive headlines. I mean, I'm even disappointed in Fox News talking about Hunter Biden's trial. I mean, like, it's not that that's not important, but this is a bigger deal. Just thought you'd like to know. All right, we're doing Name That Artist next. We're going to play the montage now. If you like all of these songs and want to go see Hootie and the Blowfish next week, and can go see Hootie and the Blowfish next week, you're going to have to get out your phone and start typing down the names of these artists.